You're about to send that text. Your thumb hovers over the screen. You feel the pull, the hesitation, the final decision. But what if I told you that decision was already made? That neuroscientists have seen a ghost signal in your brain, a spark of action that fires a full 7 seconds before you even feel like you've decided? Is your choice a real, genuine spark? Or are you just the last to know what your brain was going to do anyway? The answer to this changes everything. Responsibility, trust, your entire sense of self, it all hangs on this one question. Stick with me, because we're about to find out who, or what, is really pulling the strings. Let's start in the lab. Scientists wired people up and watched their brain activity in real time. They found that this readiness potential, the ghostly signal, swells up in the motor system long before a person reports making a conscious choice. Think of it like a car engine that starts revving on its own, before your foot even moves toward the pedal. The system is primed, the lanes of action are already being prepared. So are you just a spectator in your own mind? Some models say, basically, yeah. Imagine tiny, random drips of water falling into a bucket. Drip, drip, drip. Your brain is just accumulating random neural static. When that static, that water level, crosses a certain line, a seesaw tips, and an action happens. There's no puppet master. No you deciding. Just a running tally of chaotic noise that, by chance, hit a tipping point. Now another, even stranger idea is predictive processing. This theory says your brain isn't a passive observer at all. It's an aggressive fortune teller, constantly running a complex weather model of the world to predict what's going to happen next. Your main goal is simply to not be surprised. In this view, an intention isn't a magical command from your soul. It's just a destination you plug into your GPS. The rest of the system, your body, your reflexes, automatically steers you there, like a thermostat kicking on the heat to match the temperature you set. And get this, the storyteller in your head, the voice you think of as me, is the last one to show up. It's like a press secretary who arrives after the battle is over to spin a great story about why we fought. We see this with split-brain patients. You can command one half of their body to do something, and the other half of their brain, which didn't issue the command, will instantly invent a perfectly logical reason for why they did it. The story sounds great, but it's pure fiction. The narrator is making it up as they go along. So that's the brain. But what about the fundamental rules of the universe? Physics sets the stage. In classical physics, the universe is basically a perfect clock. If you knew where every single atom was, you could predict the future perfectly. But then you have chaos theory. Think of a double pendulum. It starts with predictable grace, swinging back and forth. But within seconds, it descends into total, unpredictable madness. A microscopic change in its starting position leads to a wildly different outcome. The laws are exact, but prediction is basically impossible. Then you zoom in even deeper, to quantum mechanics, and things get really weird. At this level, the universe is playing with dice. Some things are fundamentally random. A particle could be here, or it could be there, and nothing can predict the outcome. But, and this is a huge but, that quantum weirdness usually gets washed out by the time it reaches the scale of a single neuron. It's like a tiny whisper in a roaring stadium. The big, loud environment erases the quantum dice rolls. Usually. This is where it all comes together. Patterns matter. A thermostat doesn't care about the quantum state of every air molecule. It corrals trillions of them into a simple function, keeping the room warm. Your goals, your beliefs, your values, could they be like a thermostat for your brain, corralling all that chaotic micro-level noise? It's not about violating the laws of physics. It's about using them. Philosophy has been arguing about this for centuries, and they've landed on 3 main options. 1. Hard determinism. This says we're all just trains on a fixed track. You were always going to send that text. There was never any other option. Responsibility is just a useful story we tell to keep society running. 2. Libertarianism. This is the one you probably feel is true. It says real alternatives exist. That at some point, you stand at a genuine fork in the road, and you, the agent, can create a new chain of cause and effect out of nothing, like a match starting a fire. And 3. Compatibilism. This is the clever one. It reframes the whole question. It says freedom isn't about being uncaused. It's about doing what you want to do, without someone putting a gun to your head. You are free if your actions align with your own reasons and values, like a river flowing powerfully down the channel it has carved for itself. The river isn't breaking any laws of physics, but it's still the river, not the rocks, that's doing the carving. So let's go back to that ghost signal. If your brain is preparing to act seconds before you know about it, does that kill free will? Or is the you who files the late report not the real you? Maybe the real you isn't the narrator, but the entire system, the whole predictive, river-carving organism working together. And what about that quantum randomness? Could a few quantum dice rolls be the thing that tips the scales, making a neuron fire 1 millisecond earlier? Maybe. But is that you being free, or is your brain just noisy? A random coin flip inside your skull isn't a choice, unless your goals are deciding how to use that coin flip. It's the difference between a sail harnessing the wind and a piece of driftwood being tossed around by it. So here's a wild idea called downward causation. It sounds weird, but think of a violin. The musical score, the idea of the music, doesn't physically push the string molecules. It constrains them. It organizes them. Your goals, your intentions, what if they are the musical score for your brain? They become real causes by filtering out all the neural possibilities that don't serve the goal. The idea itself becomes a physical force. So what's the final verdict? Let's get one thing straight. The claim that the readiness potential proves we have no free will is an oversimplification. That early brain activity might just be the system warming up, preparing options, not making a final call. The gun is cocked, but your finger isn't on the trigger yet. Here's our synthesis. Free will isn't some magical power to break the laws of physics. It's the very real, biological power to become a cause. It's the ability of a complex system, you, to use its own internal model of itself, its goals, and its values to guide its path through a chaotic world. You are a composer using the fixed laws of the universe to create a new piece of music. And the best part? This kind of freedom is trainable. Getting enough sleep literally restores your brain's control circuits. Practicing mindfulness sharpens the spotlight of your attention, letting you choose which signals to act on. Redesigning your environment to make good choices easier, that widens the river channel for your will to flow. You aren't exempt from physics. You are an artist learning to master its materials. You are a system that is learning to write its own code. In this vast, lawful universe, your life can still be a new beginning. A pattern that forges its own path through the static and the chaos. Now, I want to hear from you. Think about one single choice you made today that felt completely, 100% yours. What was it? Drop it in the comments below. I'm fascinated to see what you come up with. And if this audit scrambled your brain in the best way possible, make sure you subscribe for more daily deep dives that will challenge everything you think you know. Oh, and if you think the debate over choice is wild, wait until you see what science has uncovered about the very nature of consciousness itself. To continue down the rabbit hole, click the video right here on the screen. I'll see you in there.